This was not a very good morning for me. Nope. Let's see, where do I even start? Well, apparently, even though I use the exact same amount of clothes, or the load is exactly the same size when I do my laundry, apparently the laundry shut down, leaving my clothes soaking wet. Now I have to do 2 separate loads of drying clothes now, and I have to start yet another dry cycle because they were still soaked. And to make matters worse, I was actually almost done with today's video, but no kidding, some woman walked in thinking that my place was hers. Heaven forbid you can't simply look at the door number before you go in. And needless to say, from now on, I had no problem locking my door at all. But now, whether I'm here or not, that door is locked. I say this because, you're probably thinking, well, Nick, that sounds pretty bad. You can't be the only one having a bad day or weekend. And you're right. I'm not. Especially when originally, should Horseheads and Trinity Parley have won yesterday, I was going to do a sort of revamped version of Trinity Parley's fight song. Only I would include Horseheads. It would basically go like, fight Trinity and Horseheads. That's what I was going to do should Horseheads and Trinity Parley won yesterday in football, which they did not. So it is nice knowing that, no matter how old you are or who you are or whatever, you're going to have a bad day. You will. And it's times like this, I actually have a story that I look to for strength. And I think first let me do my picks first, because this story could get a little bit lengthy. So, let's see. Well, actually, there's a game going on right now. It's the Jaguars and the Panther. Jaguars and Jaguars and the Texans. It's kind of hard to really, So, the game's going on right now, and as of right now, the Texans are beating the Jaguars 3-0. Again, I did the video before that this game started, because it's actually taking place in London right now, which is really cool. Because, I heard there's a whole lot of preparation stuff getting ready for it, but, it's a story for a different day. So, I did pick the Texans over the Jaguars to win, and, it's 3-0 right now, with being halfway through the first quarter. So, I think I'll stick by that pick. As for the rest of the picks I have, basically a NFC playoff divisional round rematch. Wow, that's a mouthful. Between the Bears and the Eagles. Now, this has a bit of a narrative because all the commercials that are going to iterate the double doink. Basically, the Bears had an opportunity to beat the Eagles in the playoffs last year, but the kicker hit the goalpost twice because the ball hit the post twice, and it was forever referred to as the double doink. And basically, a lot of Bears fans, even some I know, have definitely had to live under that scrutiny for quite a while. So not good. That being said, I think the Bears have an opportunity to come back. Plus, I hate the Eagles. So, I'll pick the Bears over the Eagles. Go, Bears. Okay, so. Now this is one of 2 games that is featuring 2 teams with winning records, and that's the Vikings and the Chiefs. Now, this is hard. Because on the one hand, Minnesota's defense is pretty darn solid. And on offense, you have the 2 best wide receiver tandem in Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs for the Vikings. So, it's pretty cool. And then you have the Chiefs. Yes, they are sans Patrick Mahomes. However, on both sides of the ball, they are doing pretty solid, especially when my man, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, He's on he's playing safety for the Chiefs. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I'm just calling it right now. Tyrann Mathieu may be the best safety in the NFL. He's definitely up there at least. So, yeah. That being said, the game's taking place at Arrowhead. So, I'll pick the Chiefs over the Vikings. Although, it would not surprise me if the Vikings do end up winning. Again, it's just like when they faced Detroit. Like, what? Was it last week the Vikings faced Detroit? Oh, man. Let me look that up. Oh, I think it was like maybe 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah. I picked the Chiefs over the Vikings. The Colts and the Steelers, I have no idea what to make of either team because I really don't know what the situation is with the Steelers. And the Colts have been all over the place. But at least I know the Colts have been all over the place. So I'll pick the Colts over the Steelers. And that probably made no sense at all. Let's see. The Jets and the Dolphins. Probably the one game that no one is going to watch because both teams really are not very good. However, the Jets somehow managed to beat my Cowboys. So I'll pick the Jets over the Dolphins. Now, this is a game I can get behind. The Redskins and the Bills. Now, the Bills suffered a tragic loss at the hands of those darn Philadelphia Eagles. Needless to say, I'm actually quite upset by this. However, I think the Bills are going to come back. They're going to take on the Redskins. I'm taking let's go Buffalo. Yes, we're the Bills over the Redskins. There we go. Let's see, the Titans and the Panthers. This is a tough call, but Christian McCaffrey has been in talks of getting the MVP, and I believe it. So I'll pick the Panthers over the Titans. Plus, I got Luke Kuechly, and Luke Kuechly's awesome. Okay, let's see. Those are the 1 o'clock games. Again, I'm sorry. I had everything perfectly said and everything, but then I was interrupted by someone barging in. It's unbelievable. So, yes, now we have the Lions and the Raiders at 4. I'm on the 4 o'clock games now. Or 1 o'clock games if you're out west. Anyway. Let's see, the Lions and the Raiders. You know what? The Lions have been proven to be pretty darn solid. So, I'll pick the Lions over the Raiders. That was easy. Now, Tampa Bay at Seattle. Now, I may have said this before, and this is actually a story I did mention in the video I had done before I had to start this over again. And that is, in the days when, Seattle went to 2 Super Bowls in a row. You had beast mode on offense, and you had the Legion of Boom on defense. And you were essentially winning with Russell Wilson. Well, here's the thing. There is no longer a beast mode, as Marshawn Lynch actually retired. And the Legion of Boom is all but scattered to the 4 winds, or at the very least, different teams in the NFL. You know why Seattle is actually doing pretty well? It's because of Russell Wilson. And that's why he's my pick for the MVP. So, yeah, I'm picking the Seahawks over Tampa Bay. Speaking of perennial MVP candidates, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and the Chargers. You know what? You guys know I can't really stand the antics of Aaron Rodgers. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers pull out a victory. So, I pick the Chargers over the Packers. Now, the Browns and the Broncos. This is tough. The Broncos will be looking for revenge as of a year ago, the Browns actually went to Denver, and that was around the time Baker Mayfield woke up feeling dangerous. So they're going to be looking for some revenge. Meanwhile, the Browns organization, for some reason, is falling apart, which kind of doesn't surprise me because, no offense, they are the Browns. So, with that said, here's hoping Baker Mayfield woke up feeling dangerous again. I'll pick the Browns over the Broncos. So, with that said, we get into tonight's game, which features the second of 2 games that features teams with winning records, and that's the Patriots and the Ravens. Now, I've actually seen a lot of YouTube channels and sports analysts pick apart this game to death. And I'm certainly no expert, so I'm not going to be doing that here. With that being said, however, I do believe that the Ravens have come a long way as a franchise. Not to mention, Lamar Jackson is actually a close second for me in terms of who's going to be the MVP. However, the changing of the guard, I don't feel is quite going to happen yet. So I'm picking the Patriots over the Ravens. So, yes, those are all of my picks. The Texans, the Bears, the Chiefs, the Colts, the Jets, let's go, Buffalo, the Panthers, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Chargers, the Browns, and the Patriots. So, yes. Now you get into the feel-good story that should make whoever watches this feel a little bit better. It actually involves a certain friend of mine who just recently turned 30. So, here's a shout out to you, my man. The year I actually met this individual, it was in 6th grade. And at the time I was doing not one, but two youth league basketball things. CYO for St. Mary Mother and Big Flats Youth League Basketball in Big Flats. So, when I did CYO, there were 2 teams from St. Mary Mother. And the other team was incredibly stacked, featuring quite possibly the biggest bully I would ever know of at the time. How bad was he? No kidding, he's the reason why I ended up going to Horseheads instead of Holy Family. And I know for a fact I'm not the only one from that St. Mary Mother class who agrees with that. With that said, it was a Monday night, and it was the final game of the year at the St. Mary's Southside CYO basketball tournament. Literally the championship game. And we had never beaten them, and we didn't beat them this time either. We came this close to doing it, and the only reason why we didn't win was because of a penalty that turns out it was basically a bad call. That's why we lost. Real heartbreaker it was. Now, go over to Big Flats Youth League Basketball, where I meet this guy I just mentioned who turned 30 recently. He didn't turn 30 then. He turned 30 in the last couple days. This guy's the same age as me, roughly. Anyway, his father was actually our coach for Big Flats Youth League Basketball. And we ended up winning the championship. I'll never forget this. It was a Saturday morning, and my mother is actually driving me to Big Flats Elementary School, where the championship game was taking place. And I was so incredibly nervous, my mother looks at me on the car ride over, and she says, "Are you okay?" Because she could hear my heartbeat. It was pounding like that hard and that fast. I'm not even kidding. But we ended up winning. And you're probably thinking, you losing against the other St. Mary team at the St. Mary Southside Tournament Championship Final happening on a Monday, and you winning the Big Flats Youth League Basketball Championship, your team anyway, on a Saturday, It's almost as if they happened within very close proximity. Oh, yes. Both the worst thing that happened in my 6th grade year, which was the St. Mary Southside championship loss, and the best thing that happened to me in 6th grade, outside of obviously graduating 6th grade, of course, which again is, winning the Big Flats Youth League Basketball Championship, happened within 1 week of each other. Yeah. So, if there's anything you can take from having a bad morning or a bad day or a bad weekend, it's this. Yeah, it's bad. It's terrible. You never want to have anything go wrong. You just don't. That's just how human nature works. But as long as you keep an open mind, hold out a little bit of hope, and a little bit of luck wouldn't hurt, and have some good people by your side. Because believe me, because I met a lot of great people at St. Mary Mother, and I met a lot of great people doing Big Fights Youth League basketball. And thankfully, when I went to Horace Heads Middle School, they all became friends, which was awesome. I said that a little too hard, didn't I? Anyway, so yes, it was awesome. My point is, good things can definitely come. When that happens, who's to say? It could be a week from when the bad thing happens. It could be immediately after. If you keep an open mind, it'll happen. And it'll be good. I feel better already, actually. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the social media platforms on YouTube. Turn on the notifications on YouTube. Follow me on social media platforms. I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for you. Hopefully you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Get ready to watch some football. And for the videos I want to talk to, I'm always going to be here to end the year. Always everybody, take care and make good choices. See ya.